I think one pro tip and one of the things that helped us kind of go down this path is we just found this really nice louvered black pergola at Costco. That's for the 10 by 20, I think it's, $2,900. So roughly for like $6,000, we can get the whole cover that we need to be able to do, 20 by 20 or, 10 by 40 or however we want to configure. Hey, Bill Faeth, Bria Faeth, and Christopher Wharton. This is your B&B rescue team. No, you don't have any idea what that is, but hopefully that's going to be a new Netflix show that we will be rescuing people that have made bad investments, right? So we're almost to the house, which is on Lewis Smith Lake, which is about 50 minutes north of Birmingham, Alabama. About, 2.5 hours from us?
2.5 hours from Nashville.
2.5 hours from Nashville. This is a property that we were hired to locate, meaning source, find the property, then go in and redesign it, rehab it, and turn it into a mega super property, and then host it as well. And this is a older, probably early 2000s maybe, similar to the one that we bought, brick house, 7 bedrooms, 6 baths, that we are turning into a 12-bedroom, 9 bathroom, adding 3 laundry rooms.
To be a 3 laundry room.
And 2 game rooms and building out an entire basement. So I have not seen this since we purchased it. This will be my first time. Chad Nichols, our contractor down here, who is incredible. We've worked with him. He did our entire house. What do you two guys expect when we walk in?
Well, they've been at it for 2-3 weeks now.
They started just before the STR Wealth Conference. So kind of 3 weeks, yeah. Actually, I think it was the week of the STR Wealth Conference. So really probably 2.5 weeks.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the walls will be down to the studs, getting rid of rooms to expand on the main floor, getting rid of the laundry room and then expanding to make that 3rd bedroom on the main floor, moving the laundry room off to the kitchen, and removing that giant pantry to expand the dining room.
Yeah, so kind of elaborate, why are we going to that expense? Because there's only one dining room table right now, right?
Yeah, so in the kitchen has like a dining nook area, a little small area, and then it has like, your standard formal dining area, like houses back in the early 90s and early 2000s. It was like everything was chopped up. You have your kitchen, your dining area, your formal dining area. This giant walk-in pantry is right next to the dining room. We're going to have them move that wall, expand it so we can get 2 large dining tables there plus the dining nook.
Very similar what you did in the Outer Banks when we removed the pillar and everything. You went from one 8-9 seat dining table, which is fine for a 6-bedroom house if somebody's living in it or whatever. But when, we took out the pillar, we kind of moved the couches, and you got 2, was it 10-foot dining tables in there? That'll seat 20.
And what I did is I actually, little secret, at a beach house, what I did was I bought outdoor dining tables so that they can stand up to the wet bathing suits, not just, if you got regular wood dining tables, they're not going to last much. So these are meant to endure the test of time. I put 2 10-foots next to each other with benches on each side, chairs on the ends. You're seating 20 people.
Right.
Versus 10.
So I'm going to give one teaching moment here. You think about if it takes 60 days for you from the day you close for you to complete your renovation, you've just lost 2 months of gross revenue. And that means that you've lost 2 months on your first year cash on cash return, right? You completely have obliterated your investment in year number 1. Whereas like the Banner Out property, you got it up and running in 4 days.
3 days.
After close.
Yep.
And we cash flowed and did $18,000 in rental income in the first 3 to 4 weeks over that same conference period, which basically covers our carry costs for 3 months to get us through the slow season, as we will do more remodeling and updating in March and April before we get into the summer season. So I want to go back and just kind of go floor by floor. You started talking about laundry room, dining room, and kind of what are you doing on the main floor? Because we're also removing a laundry room and doing some other stuff. So tell them what we're doing on the main floor and why.
Well, going into this house, it has a lot of internal arches, which is very early 2090s. So I wanted to update it.
Unless
square them up.
Spanish style in,
no.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah. No, was squaring them up, making it more modern.
I want one of those, the Santa Barbara style with the pool, right?
I love Santa Barbara style house with the pool in the center.
Yep.
I love that. Anyway.
This is not one of those.
This is not one of those. So, yes, and updating all the colors. This house is very brown. Brown cabinets. The the backsplash in the kitchen.
Are we painting the cabinets?
Yeah, we're going to paint the cabinets in the kitchen. They're in great shape. There's no reason to remove them. We're going to changing the backsplash.
Backsplash is changing. Are we doing countertops or leaving those?
I want to change the countertops. It's really going to depend on the budget. The countertops are great. They are black. I think they would work just fine because I want to.
So then we should leave them.
I think so.
Because that's probably a $10,000 to $15,000 expense.
Yep.
There's good, better, best. And if they're good and it's $15K and it's not going to move the needle from a return on investment, then you don't do it.
No, but we are going to change the backsplash because it's like built the tiles have like grapes and things on them. So we got to get rid of that. Update, modernize the tile.
We'll make sure that Chris grabs some B-roll of that so he can show it to you. It's pretty early 1990s Napa Valley.
Yeah, across like the top of the cabinets, there's like a lattice or something. You know, take that off.
But what about the room, laundry room, that type of stuff?
Oh yeah, so this house is so big. It has all these little rooms everywhere that are just not being utilized. So we're gonna.
It's like 7,400 square.
Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of the walk-in closet right off the kitchen, expand the dining room so we can have 2 giant tables in there for more dining. In this one little room off the kitchen, right now they have a bunk bed in there.
Right. Which
there's no windows. It's not a true bedroom. They just have these beds in there. So we're moving a laundry room into this room. It's right off the kitchen. The plumbing is there, so it's going to be a lot easier. And an extra refrigerator. And then make that a pantry as well. We're also going to close off part of it for storage for our cleaners.
So you'll have the washer dryer, the hookups, or extra refrigerators. So there'll be 2 refrigerators on the main floor right next to the kitchen.
Some shelving for pantries for the guests to use. And then create a locked door area so that our cleaners have shelving for toilet paper, paper towels, all those things.
I'm not going to be able to get all that in there.
Okay, well, it has like this weird triangle.
Adding the refrigerator is going to probably take up the majority of that room. I don't think you're going to be able to lock anything off. But we've got to identify that because storage is so important. What about the other laundry room and bedroom, the big closet that's...
Yeah, on the opposite side of the house. This house right now, the main floor, only has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So we're going...
The master has a massive walk-in closet.
Yeah, it has a massive walk-in closet. In the existing laundry room, they butt up to each other. So what we're going to do is we're moving that laundry room by the kitchen, taking down that wall, creating a 3rd king-size bedroom there. And in the master bathroom, there's an area that we can actually create a closet within the massive bathroom. So they're not losing closet space. They're still going to have a closet. You get a 3rd bedroom on the main floor.
You know, one of the big things, like we always want to take care of the booker, right? So that master bathroom, it's got an insert in the shower tub right now. So that's going to literally take out the soffit, which is usually an easy, demo, and then
raise it up and tile.
2 feet where you can tile all the way to the ceiling, which gives a much more dramatic, experience.
Luxurious. Yep.
All right. So then we're going to go upstairs, and one of the big things that we're not changing a whole lot. I mean, we're updating bathrooms and that type of stuff, but there's this massive bunk room that's probably...
Well, it's not even a bunk room. It's just a massive bonus room.
It's a bonus room. Yeah. Sorry. 22 feet by probably close to 36, 38 feet. It's huge. Massive. What are you doing with that?
So we could have used this as an additional game room, a movie theater, but we decided to maximize occupancy.
And this is something we've never really done. Why is that? It's because we're in the heart of the Bible Belt. We're really in the buckle of the Bible Belt. And this is something that we always talk about, like keeping your buyer persona when we go in, right? So like youth groups, youth minister, churches, family reunions, all that type of stuff. So occupancy is a huge deal inside of here. And I haven't really seen anything in a short-term rental like what you're about ready to tell them you're going to do.
So I had this great idea. We go into this massive room and
you're calling it great? You can't call your own idea great. I'll call it
It's great. Fantastic idea. I have a fantastic idea. I have some great ideas. You should listen.
There's a like.
You should listen to them sometimes. I'm going to put built-in sort of cubby areas, which you want to call them, queen-size beds along the sides.
Cubbies maybe for twins. I don't think cubbies is the right term for
But they're going to have privacy walls between every twin bed.
Private sleeping stations.
Sleeping station. And then we'll put curtains on the outside of them. So when you have, this room will sleep up to 10 people because we're going to have 5 queen beds. And the reason we're having 5 instead of 6 is because we're going to use that space where the 6th bed could have gone to add a full bathroom, a shower, a toilet, a sink, full bathroom because there wasn't enough bathrooms in the house already to add 10 more people to that floor. So we had to add a bathroom to this room.
And you're talking full built-ins to where you have like 16-inch clearance on the bottom to where people can slide their suitcases underneath. And then I think you and Chad were talking about putting something down the middle even of the room between the bunks for like storage or seating space to put on shoes or whatever.
Maybe some kind of a bench that they can sit on, but yes, they can slide things underneath them because there's so much space in the middle, even a seating area, but they can store things under those as well. But yes, the bedding areas will be built-in platforms with privacy walls between them so they can slide things underneath as well.
Right. And one of the bathrooms on that upstairs floor in that bedroom before you get to the other massive kind of what's going to become the kids' room.
The kids area.
Left here, go all the way in, is already remodeled, so we really aren't doing anything with that.
Just painting the walls.
Painting and maybe updating a light fixture or something, right? Very small. So I think one of the things that's super important is we're going from 6 bathrooms to 9 bathrooms. But out of those 6, really the only one that's getting a full kind of makeover is really the master, right? Everything else might just be vanity. We're not necessarily turning every insert into, a floor-to-ceiling tile. Is that right?
No, because some of the inserts are in fantastic shape. There's no reason to change them out just to change them out when we could spend that money someplace else.
Yeah, so I think one of the things...
We'll change like the fixtures, new shower heads, all that, but the inserts are fine.
Focusing on the booker and, the bigger rooms primarily. Mm-hmm. So what about as we go down to the basement?
So the basement is completely unfinished. It is a blank slate. We're going to put up walls. We're going to add 4
And it's
bedrooms.
about 2,200 square feet.
Yes, it's going to have a living area with a kitchen, refrigerator, dishwasher, sink, all those great things. Where it's going to have 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a laundry area, and we're going to then turn this whole big area off the side to a massive game room.
So inside of that area, you come down the stairs, you'll have like a big 75-inch Roku television. We'll have the fireplace underneath it, very similar to upstairs. You're going to add the fireplace, add the television, but then you'll have a second dishwasher down there because we only have room for 1 dishwasher upstairs. Right? When you're going to sleep 30 people, you got to have 2 dishwashers. We are putting from the Arkell's house a couple of things that, we're borrowing from them. And this is what I think is really important about staying at other places and seeing, even looking at listings, doing Avery's Enemy method, finding out what other properties have. I think that Brad and Richard Arkell, they're mastermind members of mine and in the war room as well. And I hosted a mastermind there, like, Chris, what was it? Like 2-3 weeks after they finished the property and opened last summer. They hadn't been open very long. And this was like the first perfect mega super property that, we had stayed at. We stayed at some pretty large stuff. In Orlando, we had the 2 largest properties. Remember the 2 $11 million properties in Deer Valley. But this was the best of the best. So we took some ideas from them. And one, like in that basement's the water bottle filler, which is probably going to be like $1,500 by the time you buy it and install it. Very similar to like a Tesla charger or something like that. But man, you think about with 30 people, how many people are going to be refilling water bottles? And we buy refrigerators that don't have the water filler on the front because that gets broken so easily.
They break so easily.
So a water bottle filler is going to be like when we were down here at the lake 4 years ago and we created the first coffee bar. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be a staple as we do major renovations and that type of stuff inside of the properties. The other one, I initially wanted to put in a swim spa outdoors because then we could market it as a pool and a hot tub. But I loved what the Arkells did. They had a pool, but they also had 2 hot tubs. So most likely we're going to end up going with like 2 7 to 8 person hot tubs side by side. So that way you can have a little bit of separation. You could have, kids or teenagers in one, you could have the parents in the other to where you have multiples. But even at that, it still only gets us to roughly about 50% of the occupancy. But I love those 2 things. What are you doing with like fireplace, fire pit, gazebo, all that stuff outside?
So being at the lake, we definitely need to make sure that the outdoor living is a main focus of this. You're at the lake. You're there for the lake. You're going to be outside. So originally in the plan, we were going to do a massive covered gazebo area with dining tables and a tall fireplace at the end. So everyone could sit out there. The budget, I don't believe, is going to allow for that at this point. We've had a couple extras already come in that we didn't anticipate. So we are now going to do a massive fire pit. It's going to be more cost efficient It still gives that fire feature for the guests. And, but we'll do it a little bit bigger than your typical one. Normally it's like a 3-foot ring. We'll go larger than that. We'll have more seating around it, but we'll also, to make it a party, put some poles around it with the cafe string lights.
You mean like 4x4s or 6x6s or something like that?
Something surrounding the fire pit. I mean, you add string lights to something like that and it becomes a party. You put them on the back deck of something, instantly people think, oh, this is great. It's just, I call it the balloon effect when I did birthday parties. As soon as you put balloons up, everyone's like, wow, it's a party. You know, you put those string lights up, it's a party.
So I think one pro tip and one of the things that helped us kind of go down this path is we just found this really nice louvered black pergola at Costco, you know, that's for the 10 by 20, I think it's, what was it, $2,900. So roughly for like $6,000, we can get the whole cover that we need to be able to do, you know, 20 by 20 or, you know, 10 by 40 or however we want to configure the pad. And then we are just going to have to run electrical, which we would have to do anyways, and then run, you know, pour a path, as opposed to building out the fireplace and all that type of stuff. Probably going to save us, you know, $6,000 to $10,000 going this route off of something that was going to have a $45,000 price tag. That's a huge deal that now you can reallocate someplace else and get a very similar experience.
Yes.
Right? So basement, you said game room. What's your thoughts for because that game room, I'm going to guess, without having the specs in front of me, is probably like maybe 16 to 18 feet wide and probably 35, 40 feet deep. What's your thoughts?
It's very big.
Yeah, from designing it there.
I want to go all out on this game room. A lot of people, when they do game rooms, they kind of half-ass it.
You just see some one-up arcade games. And
yeah, and then there's a little something, you know, there's 2 stand-up games and that's it, and they're done. So this room, I want to paint it real dark, get really cool wall murals on the side of it, make it a gaming theme, neon lights everywhere, across the top, all sorts of games. Not only do the typical video games, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, NBA Blitz, all those, or NFL Blitz, NBA Jams, they all run together.
Jam on it. Jam on it. Let's get the NBA Jam on it.
Like that Wendy's commercial where the guy's all, bag boys, the guy's like, stop.
I just knocked you off your game.
Pop a shot, shuffleboard, foosball, all those things make it a full gaming experience. Maybe even like a photo booth. People can get in there. Yeah, do a photo booth.
Like
another great, fantastic idea. Yeah. You should listen to me.
You remember the money swirly thing that you got in that we saw at that first house in Vanderbilt? Or maybe you weren't there, but Tyler and I were looking at that. You get one of those money swirls. All up. Cool. So what's the first thing that you're going to do? We're literally like 8 minutes away. What's the first thing or look at when? The
contractor is at to the point now where he has done demo. He is now ready for vanities and flooring and those things to move forward. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in, figure out the flooring, where we need it, what kind we need, the square footage, all the vanities, their specs, where they're going, all that good stuff so that he can start working on those big things.
For me, it's just, I want to make sure that Chad is executing our vision, you know, that we want, because this is probably one of the most intentional properties, because it's the biggest that we've done of what I want the outcome to be, going after specific buyer personas. And that's going to be Youth Pastor Paul. It's going to be, you know, churches. It's going to be the patriarch, the family that's, you know, going to spend $25,000 for a week to bring her, you know, 3 generations and 6 grandkids and all their families here, you know, for a family reunion. It's got to be ready to go for a planner, for a meeting planner, right? Meeting planner Mary that would want to, you know, have a corporate meeting here, a retreat. I'll be targeting people like myself that have masterminds or inner circle meetings or that type of stuff to be able to bring 25 or 30 people down here. So all the intention, I've got to make sure that Chad, our contractor, gets 100%. So that way we're on the same page and we can deliver the product, you know, that we're expecting. So we're pulling in right now. Stay tuned. We'll have some updates, keep you abreast to the process. Happy hosting.